Lee, can you describe the learning experience that you want to talk about for this?
The learning experience that I provided for the students was to use Bebots, and the students were to choreograph a dance routine.
So how did this unit link to your curriculum?
The curriculum aspects involved in this unit included the main focus on technology, which encompassed the design, make, appraise process, but it also integrated the arts strand, or the arts key learning area, specifically the dance strand.
Can you describe the teaching sequence? Did it move from teaching and lead eventually to an accessible item?
It certainly did. There were 3 tasks involved. The first 2 tasks we utilised the Bebot software, where the students could build their confidence and their competence in using the Bebots, and then we started to work with the devices so that the kids could then make that link between the software and the devices, and worked in small groups so that they could then have a deep understanding before they actually perform their final performance.
Action.
So why did you ask the students to choreograph a dance routine for Bebots rather than a dance routine for people?
Action.
Quite simply, when you're doing a dance unit, kids are able to be creative, but this allowed the students to acquire some different skills by using ICTs, and in using robotics it was something new that they hadn't done before.
Action.
And so I guess also if your main focus was on the KLA of technology, then Bebots probably fit quite nicely into the design, make, appraise process, which you had said previously was your focus.
And action.
Certainly. The Bebots was a means to the end of the task, or to the assessment item, because it was authentic. But the main focus was for the students to have an understanding of the DMA process. The main assessable items was the DMA process, so the kids do really have a deep understanding of the design, in other words the planning, then the doing, and then the reflection, which is very important.
Action.
You've already talked about the reflective processes that you use. Can you expand a little bit on some of the creative processes and opportunities that you gave the students?
Action.
Yep, from the beginning I showed some snippets of some YouTube videos so that kids could actually see the different dance routines. The 3 choices that the kids had was to either choreograph a ballet, a line dance, or a hip hop. We also listened to some different music that related to those dance styles, and then that also allowed the students to really, before they started using the software and the devices, to have a real strong mindset of which style they wanted to use first, so that they can then really expand on their creativeness. But how we did it was individual, small group, and whole class discussions, as well as hands-on activities.
Action.
How did this activity, the Bebots and the learning environment that you created, allow the students to experience the design, make, appraise process and understand it better?
Action.
Basically, it allowed the students, as it was a rich, authentic task, to have a discussion with myself and with their peers to find out what was the ideal way to plan and to perform. But the most important aspect that I really taught the students was one step at a time. When you're planning, do one step and then test it and to see how it actually works. Otherwise, students who lack a little confidence it becomes a jumbled mess for them, and it really affects their overall result. So I really do emphasise one step at a time.
That's great, Lee. Talking today, I think we've quite clearly seen that you've worked in the areas of PP2, PP4, PP5, and I think we could probably extend that a little bit with further conversation to get into PP7 as well. That's terrific, thank you.
Yeah, that's good.